Evening with Brishti. Hello everyone, and welcome to the debut episode of KPTV's newest show, Evening with Brishti. My name is Brishti and I'll be your host for this program. Our goal is to shine a light on some of the hidden young talent in the Bengali community right here in Florida. Joining us today, we have Saareen Junaid, a senior at American Heritage High School and a very bright young lady. Hi Saareen, welcome to the show. Saareen, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Saareen Junaid. I am 17 years old. I am a senior in high school and I go to American Heritage School in Boca, and I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. So would you mind telling us about a project that you're currently working on?
Yes, so I'm currently the founder and I act as the student president of a nonprofit organization entitled the Battle Against Cancer Corporation. And what we do is we compile research from scientific journals and magazines and split them into 3 parts, which are cancer prevention, alternative treatments for cancer, chemotherapy if your chemotherapy becomes unresponsive and your doctor is okay with it, and then detoxification. And what we do is we compile this information and we dispense this information to the public in monthly seminars, and that's what we do.
Really cool. So how many people do you say come out to these seminars usually?
I would say we average about 30 people per seminar.
That's a lot of people you're reaching. That's really great. What are some goals that your company has for this year?
What we have this year is that, well, we've already had some patients that have seen significant decreases in their chemotherapies with the methods that we have advised. So we are hoping to have even more patients that find favorable results.
Awesome. So can you tell us about like a specific patient or a specific person that you know and their case and their story?
Well, we do know this one woman who was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma when she was a teenager, and her chemotherapy was unresponsive, and that her doctors told her that there was nothing else that she could do. So she came to our seminars, and with the information that we made available to her, she talked to a holistic doctor that we put her in contact with, and she started a therapy that we recommended, and she's seen 30% decrease alone with her lifestyle changes and the methods that we advised her for in her Ewing sarcoma. So we're very happy about that.
So it looks like at a young age you're already making a very huge impact in your community.
Thank you.
But you did say you're the student president. You are a student, and
yes.
Would you mind talking a little bit about how your education is going or how life is at school and your academics?
Yes, so I'm currently a senior in high school, and everyone says that's the best year, but I personally think senior year is the hardest year by far, even harder than the junior year, especially going to American Heritage, which is a very academically rigorous school. On top of that, I am heavily involved in their fine arts department, which is, in my opinion, and objectively, the best department and most competitive department within our district, which I'm so honored to be a part of and so honored to be heavily involved with. So we have rehearsals about 3 hours. It's getting even longer now because our show is coming up, so it's very rigorous with all the AP classes that I'm taking and the demanding fine arts schedule that I have after school, but it's all very rewarding and I can't wait for the end result and to see how it all ends up.
Sure. So talk a little bit more about what fine arts consists of. Like, do you do plays? Do you sing?
Well, the American Heritage's fine arts department consists of visual arts, such as photography and painting and graphic arts. We have a very talented choir, and then we do have a very talented theater department, which I am personally involved with.
Okay, so what are some plays you've done so far?
I've been in a modernization of a Greek myth called Eurydice. I've been in Thoroughly Modern Millie, which is a play about a girl who goes to New York City to fulfill her dreams and then ends up finding an alternative dream that she didn't really think of, so it's a really enjoyable play. And currently I'm in a play called Little Women, which takes place during the Civil War, and my character who I portray, her name is Jo. She wants to be a famous writer, and we see her go on this journey throughout her life to see eventually where she ends up.
That is really cool. So is acting something you'd like to pursue in the future?
I'm not too certain about that. I have a lot of dreams though.
Okay. And if you did decide on it, what would be your dream role?
My dream role? Well, I think I'm currently playing my dream role as Jo. I've always wanted to be Jo because I did for competition in middle school, I did a song from the show Little Women, the duet Some Things Are Meant to Be, and since then I've always wanted to portray Joe in the show, and now that I've gotten the opportunity to do so in high school, this is all that I've ever wanted, so I'm very, very excited.
Great. Well, I think some of our audience members watching this KPTV special right now would like to hear a bit of your duet. We'll be listening to your song at the end of the show. Audience members, please stay tuned.
Okay.
So the reason we brought you onto this show with KPTV is because you are a Bangladeshi American. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your experience growing up in this country?
Well, growing up, especially when I was younger, I had a lot of Bengali influence, as I would always hear the Bengali television networks being played in my house and all of the little dramas that my grandmother and my parents used to watch, and all of the talent shows, and that's how I would listen to Bengali music and be exposed to Bengali culture. And in my middle school years, I did a project called The Alphabet That Bled about the Bengali language movement, and I learned a lot about Bangladesh's history, such as that Bangladesh was the only nation that has fought a war for the right to speak a language, and I thought that was very unique, and it made me even more proud of my heritage.
Bangladesh has a very unique history. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what you learned while you were working on your project Alphabet That Bled?
Yes, so I learned that Bangladesh was the only country that had to fight a revolution for the right to speak their own language, and that the father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, is a very unique and inspiring man, and that he's probably the only man that has fought through so many revolutions for certain countries for independence, and I thought that was really, really inspiring to learn about and provided me with a lot of pride for my heritage.
So speaking of putting Bangladesh on the map, I heard that that project that you did, Alphabet That Bled, made it to nationals.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I had to work through the school level, then the district level, then I won second place at the state level, which qualified us for the national level, which was almost more of an international level because there were students from Singapore, from China, from Korea, from all over the world that were from American schools that I competed against, and it was an honor to have such a truly international competition so that I could learn about the heritages of all over the world, and that students from all over the world could learn about our heritage as well.
So what was the prompt? Was it
The prompt was legacy and leadership. So what we had to do is we had to find some sort of topic or person that displayed a sort of important legacy and important leadership to any sort of movement that we saw fit.
And one more time for the audience, who did you choose to cover for that essay?
So I did my project on Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, also known as Bangabandhu, and I learned about his legacy and leadership that he provided for the Bengali people that were disenfranchised during the time of the revolution, and I learned about that Bangladesh was the only country in the world that has fought a revolution for the sake of and the right of speaking their language, and I found that was very inspiring, and it provided me with a lot of pride in my heritage.
Would you ever like to return to Bangladesh and make any contributions of your own?
Yes, I would. I particularly would like to help ease the lives of the people that live in the villages so that they can focus on their education rather than simply surviving.
And have you been to Bangladesh before?
Yes, last time I was there was a few years ago, and whenever I go, my parents and I, we like to do community service for the people that are underprivileged in Bangladesh, such as my mom has a foundation called the ARK Foundation, and we like to help out through that foundation.
Sure, tell us a little bit more about that foundation.
My parents have a free clinic through their ARK Foundation, and we offer medical supplies and medical care to underprivileged children.
So you do a lot of medical work in communities back home and here.
Yes.
So how do you feel about the current representation of Bangladeshi Americans on TV, in politics, and other various fields in this country?
Well, my father, who is a Bangladeshi American, is very heavily involved in American politics, and I'm very happy about that. Bengalis have have not been represented in massive numbers because there aren't massive numbers of Bengalis in the United States. So with this new generation of Bengalis, I hope that we are vocal enough and can find our voices to make ourselves present within politics, within American culture, within media. I hope we can find that in the future.
I agree. There needs to be more Bengali actors, Bengali politicians, just our presence needs to be made. I do know that Bengalis love becoming doctors and engineers, but you know, there are other fields that need our presence as well. If you had to give other Bangladeshi American children some sort of advice or message, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to try and get yourself out there as much as you can. You can pursue the typical fields that our parents would like us to pursue, such as medicine or law or engineering. But I feel like for the advancement of us in the future, because now we are American citizens, now we have our seeds planted in the soil, we have to make sure that we get ourselves out there, that we make ourselves known, that people don't alienate us for the traditions that we have. So we have to go into film, we have to go into media, we have to go into politics, all these fields where people have to know what our names are and have to know where we come from. And with that, we have to make ourselves have a presence within American society, but we can't forget the traditions that we came from, and we have to always respect the culture that our parents gave us, as well as the culture that we have here.
Because as much as we would like to pursue what we want to do, sometimes we do get a pushback or some type of resistance from the community when we choose like other fields that maybe aren't so common. So thank you for that. So on behalf of KPTV, we would like to present you with a small gift. We're really happy that you were inspired by the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and with all the inspiring work that you're doing in your community and back home, you're going to be ending up leaving a legacy of your own. So thank you so much, Saareen, Junaid, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me and for this gift. I really appreciate it. And I would also like to thank KPTV for having me on their network. Let's pretend we're riding on a kite. Let's imagine we're flying through the air. We'll ascend until we're out of sight. Light as paper, we'll soar. Let's be wild up high above the sand. Feel the wind, the world at our command. Let's enjoy the view and never land, floating far from the shore. Some things are meant to be, the tide turning endlessly, the way it takes hold of me, no matter what I do.
আমার নাম তাসনিম, আমি এখানকার একজন ইমিগ্রেশন লয়ার। আপনার ইমিগ্রেশন সংক্রান্ত কোনো রকম কোয়েশ্চেন থাকলে আমার অফিসে যোগাযোগ করুন, জামান ল অফিস PA. Immigration is not just filling out forms. Immigration is a complex set of rules. Come to my office. I will try to help you out as to the best of my ability.
My name is Lachizar Venchev. I practice family, criminal law and civil litigation. You're welcome to call my office anytime.
আমি এখানে আছি, আমি বাংলা বলি, so I can definitely help you.